Namaste and welcome. I'm Pratim Ranjan Bose and you are watching my podcast Perspective. In this episode, I will discuss about rising manufacturing jobs in India and the country's glaring success in the middle of doldrums across the world. On July 27, India's top financial newspaper, The Economic Times, carried a page one news quoting a recruiting agency about 200% growth in manufacturing jobs between 2022 and 2024. It did not improve the overall employment opportunities due to 35% drop in jobs in the service sector, namely IT, which does the heavy lifting. The export-oriented IT industry reduced recruitments due to slowdown in developed markets, leading to lesser flow of orders. Service sector contributes nearly 50% of India's 3.3 trillion gross domestic product at current prices. In comparison, core manufacturing contributes 13 to 14% of GDP. Naturally, the overdependence on service sector for job creation is unlikely to go in the near or middle term. Also, considering India's huge population vis-a-vis increasing automation and sustained geopolitical uncertainties in the post-COVID world, job creation will continue to be a concern. However, the spike in manufacturing jobs is the most promising news that India came across after economic liberalization in 1991. It is the early sign of a structural shift that the Narendra Modi government has been pushing under the flagship Make in India program launched in 2014. Not many were ready to believe in the program. Reputed economists argued that India has no case in manufacturing before a China or a Vietnam. They were not completely wrong either. In the decades after 1991, India saw a dramatic loss of manufacturing to China due to cost concerns. We have a strong chemicals and pharmaceuticals industry, but the core ingredient of this manufacturing, that is API, comes from China. This is just one of the many examples of loss of manufacturing potential. Modi pushed the agenda of manufacturing through both supply and demand side adjustments. On the demand side, the multifold increase in infrastructure spending and creation of domestic procurement, increasing domestic procurement by state-owned enterprises and strategic sectors like defense created ground. On the supply side, Modi opened doors to Indian and foreign companies to participate in manufacturing in a bigger way. The US-China tariff war beginning 2017 and the breakdown of the free trade mechanism since COVID created opportunities for India to offer time-bound production-linked incentives, that is PLI, to create manufacturing capacities of scale in select sectors. This strategy worked beautifully in sectors like telecommunications, semiconductors, defense, etc., where India has attracted sizable foreign investments. Smartphones and military hardware overnight became star export performers. Many compared India's journey for Atmanirbharta with the closed economy buzzword of self-reliance. Some critics also pointed out that behind rising smartphone exports, India has a low contribution in the components manufacturing. The criticisms are right only to the extent of missing the true trees for the woods. India started with automobile assembling in the 1980s. Today, it is a global producer of small cars with sprawling domestic component industry. Unlike the closed economy days, we are offering a time-bound support to the big players to create facilities of global scale, which will be cost competitive. Boeing, Airbus or GE are setting up shop in India with an export target in mind. The semiconductor fabrication investment was done with export focus. that the Indian private sector contributes 75% of the nation's still small $2 billion military hardware exports is the proof of its competitiveness. Remember, all these initiatives are still in its nascent stage. They will take time to flourish. A GE, Airbus, or Apple will bring in its own ancillaries to India in their own interest. And that is when we see the bigger impact on manufacturing, whose contribution to GDP remains stagnant at 13 to 14% over the last many decades. It happened to automobiles, which now contributes bulk of the manufacturing GDP. We have started replicating this experience in smartphones, defense hardware, aviation, etc. The road to manufacturing is tough, but once it is developed, it does not move out easily, unlike the BPO units. The good news is we have hit the road, and the first signs of it are visible on the job market. Most critically, it is visible in the campus recruitment of engineers from core disciplines like mechanical, electrical, civil, etc. And I was possibly the only journalist who got a whiff of it last year. In 2023, I noticed a sudden spike in both campus recruitment and wages of fresh mechanical and electrical engineers. Large manufacturers, including automakers, were found recruiting mechanical engineers from lesser-known private colleges. Under normal circumstances, they restrict visits only to IITs and NITs. I wrote it in my column in Money Control on June 13, 2023. The link is available in the details of this video. The trend consolidated in 2024. I inquired two private colleges in West Bengal. Professor Chandan Chattaraj, HOD of Mechanical of Dr. B.C. Roy Engineering College in Durgapur, reports full placement of with an average package of rupees 4 to 5 lakhs a year. The maximum salary offered was rupees 11.2 lakhs per year. Professor Monish Mukhopadhyay, HOD Mechanical of Meghnad Saha Institute of Technology in Kolkata, reported 140% job offers for his students with an average package of rupees 4.5 lakhs. He reports similar trends in electrical and civil engineering. Private institutes offer better feel of the job market as they are generally ranked lower than the public institutes like IIT and NIT. Till 2022, there were many job offers for core disciplines in lower-rung private colleges. The top of the order private colleges could place all, but majority of such offers were from service sector like EdTech, trade journals, non-profits working for rural development, etc. The situation has changed now. Mechanical engineers from Dr. B.C. Roy Engineering College were offered jobs in merchant navy, fertilizer, ferroalloys, etc. Meghnad Saha saw arrival of MNCs like Bosch, Tiga, domestic auto giant Ashok Leyland, and scores of other manufacturers, including cement, in the placement interviews. You can hear the small clip of this conversation with Professor Mukhopadhyay.
Actually, if the statistics, I can give you the exact statistics. It will be something around 140% because many of our students have actually got more than one jobs. Okay, so and in electrical and civil engineering as well, the numbers are quite encouraging. It is about 80 to 100% in both the departments.
A very welcome change has hit India, but it also raises a concern. According to All India Survey of Higher Education 2021-22, India has a total of 41 lakh engineering students from undergraduate to PhD courses. Of the total, 30% are in IT alone. Including electronics, the share is 45%, that is almost half. This is the result of over-glamorization of IT sector. On paper, 34% students enroll for mechanical, electrical, and civil, all put together. The disciplines which are currently directly related to manufacturing and infrastructure. Most ended up here because they did not get an opportunity in IT. It means the general merit profile is weak in core disciplines. The big question is, do we have enough good engineers to support a manufacturing growth? A slight push in demand and rupees 40 to 45,000 salary on average for fresh engineers, that too from lower order colleges, is not a good sign. Thank you for watching Perspective. If you like this episode, please share and subscribe. See you next week. फिर मिलेंगे.